Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I want to do a video that's been in my mind for a long time to do, and I just thought it'd be fun to share and maybe helpful for some people. So I love reading on different reading apps, and one of my top favorite is Dreame. And I did a video a long time ago on it, and at the time it was very new to me, that app, and I refused to pay any money towards it. But since then I have paid money for it, and I've read quite a bit of stories on that app. And one thing I notice, I'll find an author and I'll love them, and I'll go through and I'll read every story that they have, and then either I feel like I need something different, I get bored, or I finished everything that they've written and I try to find something new to read. And the problem with that app is there's a lot of duds. There's a lot of cheesy stories. There's a lot of supernatural werewolf stories, which is fine as long as they're well written and it has an interesting storyline. I don't mind. But you kind of get sick of the same stuff over and over. Either the alpha rejects somebody, but then he wants her. It's usually the same storyline. So in this video, I wanted to recommend my top favorite authors on Dreame. And some of these people have moved to other writing platforms, or their stories are shared, in multiple places. But I just thought this might be helpful for you guys if you're an avid reader on Dreame and you need something new. And some of these story authors are pretty spicy. Keep that in mind. I would recommend these stories for 18 and over, okay? But my number one author is Jenny Fox. So she just finished her book, Lady DHAMPIR. I think I'm saying that right. I just Googled it to see, see how you say it. But I will put the spelling up on the screen. But that was such an amazing story. But Jenny Fox takes you through Melina's whole life. The story starts in the beginning when she's a child, and it's so good. It's a very long story, and you do have to spend coins to read it, so it can get expensive, but it's such a great story. It's supernatural. She's half vampire, half human in this world where you could either be human and vampire, and there's kind of issues between both, and it's very interesting. You get into, there's a lot of politics in the story, and it's just welly written, and I highly recommend it. Her other stories are His Blue Moon Princess, which has been published. You could buy the book on Amazon. I actually have it. So right here, I just had to wipe it off. It was kind of dusty, but I did purchase this off of Amazon, and it's hardcover, good quality book, and this is part of the Silver City series. So this is a series, and this is a werewolf supernatural romance, but her stories are so well written that I just enjoy them so much. Another book in the series, the Silver City series, is His Sunshine Baby, which I really much enjoyed. It ties into this story. And then she did move over her stories to an app called Any Stories, and she has on there War God's Favorite, which that's a spicy story, very good. That one's different. That's dragons, and I don't know, it's very well written. It gets you hooked, definitely hooked. She also has a sequel to that, The White King's Favorite, which goes on to the main characters in the last book, their daughter, her romance. There's also the other one, The Songbird, or His Songbird, I think it's called, and that one's based in a futuristic world, and how And it's just so interesting how each story is kind of similar by the author. You know, she has her style of writing, but each story is so different, and it takes you into these different worlds. And currently she started a new story, which is ongoing, is Hera, Love and Revenge. And so far she's a vampire. It's a vampire story. So yes, I highly recommend Jenny Fox if you haven't, you know, read any of her stories yet. Another author I want to recommend is Caramara. I'll put her name up on the screen. So sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. But she has some story on Dreame, but I believe she's now moved off of Dreame. I don't know. Oh, she moved to Fizzo, fictum. I haven't checked it out yet, but I would like to because I really like her style of writing as well. But she does have stories on Dreame. She has the story called Bala. It's really good, and I believe Bala is free. It's a supernatural story, really good. And she also has The Duke's Contract Wife, which is also free. The Emperor's Black Swan, which is really great, that's free. The Alpha and His Deadly Beauty. And some of these stories, like The Emperor, The Alpha Deadly Beauty, The Cursed Dragon and His Bride, The Prince's Substitute Witch Bride, and they're all connected in a series. Like there's these sisters, and they all have like powers, and their kingdom was taken over by demons, and they're trying to save their kingdom. And in each story they eat like their love. I enjoy it. And she was currently writing The Lycan's King Muse, but she moved that story over. I think she was having issues with Dreame because Dreame wasn't paying her. Like I guess when an author is on Dreame, they could write stories. If they get enough people reading their stories, they can start making money off of it. But for some reason, she was getting the people reading her stories, but Dreame just didn't want to pay her for it. So I guess she got fed up and left. But I mean, she definitely deserved to get paid for her stories. They were amazing. But another author I want to talk about is definitely rated X. Okay, keep this in mind. Her stories are dark. They're very, very spicy, definitely 18 over, and she gives you a warning before you start even reading her stories. So keep that in mind. But the author's name is Gump Ta. I will put the spelling up on the screen, but I do like her stories. They're like a secret, like a guilty pleasure type of story. She has Married to the Duke, which is a little lighter, not as, it's still spicy, but not as dark. Like her stories have like the dark hero type of thing where the hero is bad, but they're good. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I definitely enjoy them. She also has like a series with the same, they're like the Carter brothers. It is Saved by the Devil, My Boss is My Boss's Tormentor is a part of different, never mind, that's a standalone. But she has Hating My Baby's Father. And then one that's ongoing currently is His Broken Princess, which I have been enjoying. You just feel for the characters. You definitely feel like you're in their shoes. The way she describes everything, she keeps things interesting. I highly recommend her stories if you want something more edgy. That's all I could say. But be warned with her stories, because they're gonna, whoa, you know, they're definitely shocking. Another author is Mana Soul. She only has a few stories on Dreame that I've read personally, but the Beloved of the War God, I thought it was such a great story. If you're into like Greek gods, like Athens, what else? Ares, the god of war. There's a lot of information in these stories. It takes you to a different time, but there is a love story. they go on so many crazy adventures. It's just so well written. I've learned, I don't know. And she keeps kind of accurate to the mythology, which is really great. I just thought it was a great story. And she does have a second book to that, which is Twice Loved by the War God. And I actually purchased that because she took it off a Dreame. And there, I forget what you could follow her on Facebook, Mana Soul Stories, and I ended up going to this site and I bought the whole book for around $6. I had to download it onto my phone. I haven't finished reading it, but it's just a continuation of the story and their adventures. It's great. It's a great read. Highly recommend those two books. And the last author I want to talk about is Marion ARTWOOD. So her books are still romance, but they're not as spicy as Gump Ta. Even Mana Soul, her love scenes can be pretty spicy. Even in here, they can be a little, I guess there's a theme here. I love my romance with a little edge to it. But there is her stories are great. They're supernatural, like dragon. She has dragon, werewolf, different things going on. But the selection of the selection of the dark dragon, or I don't know. I wrote this down really weird, the notes. I'll put pictures on the screen of the books I'm talking about. But that one was really interesting, like a different planet, and I don't know, it was just cool. I very much enjoyed it. She also has Alpha Witch, Dragon's Ice, which is really neat. Kind of reminded me of a Frozen thing. Dragon King's Forbidden Love, which I believe is a sequel to The Selection. And Breaking Engagement was a really fun story. It was a witch, werewolf love story, but she had the power to disguise herself, and she was actually hired to be someone else to try to break up a marriage or break up an engagement. And they ended up falling in love. And it's a cute story. And then she just finished an Alpha Island, the Dragon's Mate, which was kind of interesting because it's she did it with another author, J.M. Snap, where they did sister books, and they each had their own story, but they kind of tied in together. It was very interesting to read. But yeah, I hope I made sense in these stories and explained these wonderful authors. If you're so interested, to check them out and, I don't know, give it a chance. There are other authors, of course, I love on Dreame. I also love like some authors from web novel. And it's just fun to read. It's handy to have it right on your phone. These are stories you're not going to find at a store because they are written by just regular people who post, you know, their stories on these apps. Some people are, you know, they get more views, so they have editors to help them out. Some stories on here are not edited. You will sometimes notice grammatical errors or, you know, different things with the stories, but if you can look past that, they're really amazing stories. Definitely keep you interested, and I highly recommend these. If you guys are on the Dreame app, I would love for you to put your recommendations down below because I'm always looking for new authors. If you could kind of understand the gist of what I like to read on there and you think, you know, it would be helpful for me or for other people, I would love to know. And yeah, let me know if you guys checked out any of these authors as well. I would love to know what you think of them. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you'd like me to do more videos like this in the future, I would love to, because I'm currently reading some pretty spicy stories I would love to talk about. But okay guys, I'll see you all later. Bye.